From your perspective, obviously you both worked on characters that were real people first. And obviously, Michael, you were able to work with Brian because he was involved in the project. But what was that like? How was that different to other roles you've taken on?
I think when you work with fictional characters, you have more creative license to kind of to exaggerate certain places and kind of just be as creative as you want to be. When you're working with a real person, you kind of have to honor and respect all the facts, and be as truthful and honest as you can. Being able to work with Brian, to, give him a phone call, text him if I ever get lost or if I need advice on any specific thing, he was definitely there as a resource.
And Jamie, obviously, Johnny D has passed away since, but he was still a real person. What was the research process like for you to take on that role?
Just talking with Brian, Brian would tell me, he was a gregarious person, even though he was in a horrible situation. He was still like hopeful. He would inspire the other inmates. Which in the movie, when you see the three inmates and the way they interacted, that was basically brought on by Walter. And then it was just aesthetically, we looked the same cheekbones, same diamond head, same sort of hairstyle. And then it was just dialing in, the dialect and things like that, and then leaning on my young brother, because even when we were going over certain dialects, I went way. He said, I don't do that. We gotta be able to understand you. So just little small things like that, and then once you get on the set, your natural sort of your autopilot of who you are as an actor or actress just sort of kicks in, and then you go for it.
Obviously, the intimacy of these two people in real life and also on screen was really powerful. Were there any places that you were uncomfortable going with each other that you had to build into these moments, or was it just kind of organic work that you guys were able to do together?
I think, not speaking for Jamie, I think for me it was kind of like we've already known each other for years, for a really, really long time, and I think the shooting schedule, we shot our character arc out, fairly quickly. So to be able to kind of go from strangers to people that are very, very close over the course of the exoneration process. We were able to kind of like hit all those milestones because we're extremely comfortable with each other, and it was a safe space, a comfortable space to be able to explore and take risks and stuff like that.
I mean, what has it been like promoting this movie here? Obviously, in the UK and in Europe in general, the history of racial tensions aren't necessarily the same as they are in America, which is a very unique, in a bad way, experience dealing with this. What has that been like for you in terms of communicating that beyond the movie?
I think the perception of what it is to be black and brown, and the presumption of guilt and danger, I think is universal, not just in the States. It's a worldwide situation, and I feel like people from all over the world have been able to connect with the movie and relate. That's why we're getting the responses that we're getting, is because they all feel like that could have been them or somebody that they know. They know what that looks like. So I feel like here in the UK or in the States, it's definitely a universal issue.
And it's interesting when you talk about movies, like, say you'll see movies like Parasite or movies that, we may not know the culture, but when movies are great, man, they have no boundaries, and I think Just Mercy really exemplifies that. Toronto Film Festival, I mean, standing ovation for eight minutes, and that's not America.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's because there's two things going on. One, the story, which he's beautifully brought to the forefront, but then it's the movie itself. Because like you were saying, you've known Brian Stevenson for a while. It could have gone wrong. It could have just been like, but in this situation, the stars lined up, and it's been really effective.